Next question. What's a perfectly productive day in the life of Jeff Bezos? You're one of the most productive humans in the world.
Well, first of all, I get up in the morning and I putter. I have a coffee.
Can you define putter?
Just like I slowly move around. I'm not as productive as you might think I am. I mean, because I do believe in wandering, and I read my phone for a while. I read newspapers for a while. I chat with Laura, and I drink my first coffee. So I move pretty slowly in the first couple of hours. I get up early, just naturally, and then, you know, I exercise most days, and most days it's not that hard for me. Some days it's really hard, and I do it anyway. I don't want to, and it's painful, and I'm like, why am I here? And I don't want to do.
I mean, why am I here at the gym?
Why am I here at the gym? Why don't I do something else? It's not always easy.
What's your source of motivation in those moments?
I know that I'll feel better later if I do it. And so like the real source of motivation, I can tell the days when I skip it.
Mhm.
I'm not quite as alert. I don't feel as good. And then there's harder motivations. It's longer term. You want to be healthy as you age. You want health span. Ideally, you want to be healthy and moving around when you're 80 years old, and so there's a lot of, but that kind of motivation is so far in the future, it can be very hard to work in the second.
Yeah.
So thinking about the fact I'll feel better in about 4 hours if I do it now, I'll have more energy for the rest of my day, and so on and so on.
What's your exercise routine, just to linger on that? How much you curl? I mean, what are we talking about here? That's all I do at the gym. So
my routine, on a good day, I do about half an hour of cardio, and I do about 45 minutes of weightlifting, resistance training of some kind, mostly weights. I have a trainer who, I love, who pushes me, which is really helpful. I'll be like, he'll say, Jeff, do you think can we go up on that weight a little bit? And I'll think about it, and I'll be like, no, I don't think so. And he'll look at me and say, yeah, I think you can. And of course he's right.
Yeah, of course.
So it's helpful to have somebody push you a little bit.
But almost every day you do that.
I do almost every day. I do a little bit of cardio and a little bit of weightlifting, and I'd rotate. I do a pulling day and a pushing day and a leg day. It's all pretty standard stuff.
So puttering, coffee, gym.
Puttering, coffee, gym, and then work.
Work. So what's work look like? What are the productive hours look like for you?
A couple of years ago, I left as the CEO of Amazon, and I have never worked harder in my life. So I am working so hard, and I'm mostly enjoying it, but there are also some very painful days. Most of my time is spent on Blue Origin, and I'm so deeply involved here now for the last couple of years. And in the big, I love it. In the small, there's all the frustrations that come along with everything. We're trying to get to rate manufacturing, as we talked about. That's super important. We'll get there. We just hired a new CEO, guy I've known for close to 15 years now, a guy named Dave Limp, who I love. He's amazing, so we're super lucky to have Dave, and, you're going to see us move faster there. But so my day of work, reading documents, having meetings, sometimes in person, sometimes over Zoom, depends on where I am. It's all about, the technology. It's about the organization. It's about, I'm very, I have architecture and technology meetings almost every day on various subsystems inside the vehicle, inside the engines. It's super fun for me. My favorite part of it is the technology. My least favorite part of it is, building organizations and so on. That's important, but it's also my least favorite part. So, that's why they call it work. You don't always get to do what you want to do.
How do you achieve time where you can focus and truly think through problems?
I do little thinking retreats. So this is not the only, I can do that all day long. I'm very good at focusing. I'm very good at, I don't keep to a strict schedule. Like my meetings often go longer than I plan for them to because I believe in wandering. My perfect meeting starts with a crisp document. So the document should be written with such clarity that it's like angels singing from on high. I like a crisp document and a messy meeting. And so the meeting is about like asking questions that nobody knows the answer to, and trying to like wander your way to a solution. And because and that is, if when that happens just right, it makes all the other meetings worthwhile. It feels good. It has a kind of beauty to it. It has an aesthetic beauty to it, and you get real breakthroughs in meetings like that. We need to start training ourselves to think longer term. Long term thinking is a giant lever. You can literally solve problems if you think long term that are impossible to solve if you think short term. And we aren't really good at thinking long term. As you know, it's not really, we're kind of, 5 years is a tough time frame for most institutions to think past. And we probably need to stretch that to 10 years and 15 years and 20 years and 25 years. And we'd do a better job for our children or our grandchildren if we could stretch those thinking horizons. And so the clock is, in a way, it's an art project. It's a symbol. And if it ever has any power to influence people to think longer term, that won't happen for hundreds of years. But we have to, we're going to build it now and let it accrue the patina of age.
Do you think humans will be here when the clock runs out here on Earth?
I think so. But, the United States won't exist. Like whole civilizations rise and fall. 10,000 years is so long. Like no nation state has ever survived for anywhere close to 10,000 years.
And the increasing rate of progress makes that even
less likely. So do I think humans will be here? Yes. What, how will we have changed ourselves and what will we be and so on and so on? I don't know, but I think we'll be here.
On that grand scale, a human life feels tiny. Do you ponder your own mortality? Are you afraid of death?
No, I used to be afraid of death. I did. I remember as a young person being kind of like very scared of mortality, like didn't want to think about it and so on. And always had and as I've gotten older, I'm 59 now. As I've gotten older, somehow that fear has sort of gone away. I don't, I would like to stay alive for as long as possible, but I'd like to be, I'm really more focused on health span. Mm-hmm. I want to be healthy. I want that square wave. I want to, I want to be healthy, and then gone. I don't want the long decay. And I'm curious. I want to see how things turn out. I'd like to be here. I love my family and my close friends, and I'm curious about them, and I want to see. So I have a lot of reasons to stay around, but mortality doesn't have that effect on me that it did, maybe when I was in my 20s.